In need of great talent for your business but short on time? You don't have to get lost in a huge stack of resumes to find your perfect hire. You just need the right tools, smarter tools. ZipRecruiter posts your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click. Then ZipRecruiter actively looks for the most qualified candidates and invites them to apply. They even review every application to identify the top candidates so you never miss a great match. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other hiring sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on the right candidates finding you. It finds them. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most qualified candidates with immediate results. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/Stephen A. That's with a PH, not a V. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Stephen A. One more time to try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Stephen A. That's with a PH, not a V.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Stephen A. Smith Show here on ESPN Radio, coming at you in 250 plus markets across the United States of America, plus ESPN Radio, Sirius XM style, channel 80. Number to call up as always is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. Get the feeling of being rewarded with gold status at Shell and with the Fuel Rewards program. Download the Fuel Rewards app. Join and start saving 5 cents a gallon today. I've got some big news. It won't be the Monday after the Super Bowl Monday. But immediately following that, scheduled to begin next Tuesday on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, the Love Doctor will be paying a visit up to Valentine's Day. You understand? Get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. Remember I stole an idea from Martin Lawrence, one of my favorite comedians of all time on the show, Martin. Remember the Love Doctor segment? And ever since then, I incorporated it into the show. And lo and behold, people have been clamoring for the Love Doctor. Now, we all know, as Valentine's Day approaches, those of you who have significant others out there, those of you who may have lost your way, those of you who may be looking for the light because you have been living in darkness, the darkness of life without love for quite some time. You might be looking for a reprieve. My man Michael K., he won't admit this to you. Michael K., star radio host in 98.7 FM in New York City, who is the voice of the New York Yankees, who's got an afternoon drive show. He's phenomenal. I got news for y'all. Even Michael K. lacked love until he came to the Love Doctor. Because I'm here. The John Irelands of the world and the Marcellus Wileys of the world in L.A. I mean, love was not a part of their life until the Love Doctor came. Now, I'm not talking about myself. I do not practice what I preach when it comes to love. I will be the first to admit it. So don't hold me accountable for that. But for those of you out there who need sound advice from an objective listener, an objective viewer, the bottom line is, I'm here for you. I'm here. My man Don Juan LaGreca, part of the Michael K. Show on 98.7 FM in New York. Did you know that Don Juan LaGreca spent many, many years lacking love? Many, many years lacking love. And then I told him, I said, look, you got to slick that hair back. You got to rock that goatee. You got to make sure that you style and profile the way Don Juan LaGreca can do it. And lo and behold, the man's married, he's got 2 beautiful kids. He's smiling ear to ear every single day. You know why? Because he listened to the Love Doctor. That's why. So I just want y'all to know that. The Love Doctor is in the house. Ladies, you need to call up. You need to listen, because let me tell you something right now. Some of y'all be picking up the phone or you bother your man on a Sunday morning. You don't do that. NFL season ends once the Super Bowl ends. Guess what? It comes to Saturday night NBA basketball on ABC. Don't bother that man on Saturday night. But you can use that to your advantage. If you do it right, ladies and gentlemen, I could show you, ladies rather, I could show you how to get your way Tuesday through Saturday afternoon. You get whatever you want. Football season, Tuesday through Saturday night. You can get whatever you want. Y'all don't know the tricks. Love Doctor's here for you. Love Doctor's here. Now get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Let's get back to the calls, man, because LeBron James is a hot topic of discussion. Tom Brady is a hot topic of discussion. Comments that I made about MLB Hall of Famers is a hot topic of discussion. All of these things are things you got to worry about. And by the way, speaking of my man Michael K., who's right at my left, let me tell y'all something right now. Do y'all know that y'all don't get to question me about anything with baseball? Because I learned from him. So if you question me, you're questioning Michael K. And God forbid you'd ever think of doing such a thing. You know better. You know better. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's the number to call up. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Back to your calls. Let's go. Let's go to Bugsy in Indiana. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
What's going on, my man?
I'm good, man. Talk to me.
I just want to let you know that I think LeBron signing with the Warriors is a wonderful decision.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
You should why can't he
ring chase like everybody else?
Why can't he what?
Ring chase.
Let me ask you a question. If LeBron James were to join, and it's not his story, in fairness to LeBron James and his people, he has nothing to do with this story. There's a story emanating out of the Bay Area because the Golden State Warriors leaked it to a reporter there. So understand that's what is going on here. This has nothing to do with anything. Nobody's quoted LeBron James or sources from LeBron James' camp or anything like that saying he's remotely interested in the Warriors. So let's be fair to him in that regard. But hypothetically speaking, based on what you're just saying to me, you talk about ring chasing. If LeBron James were to go to the Golden State Warriors, please tell me anybody in NBA history who will have ring chased to that degree. Tell me who.
Charles Barkley. He tried to go ring chase in Houston.
Hold on. Time. Not true. Number one, Charles Barkley didn't already have 3 rings. Number 2, he wanted out of Philadelphia because it was complete chaos. He landed in Phoenix. Okay? They did not win the title in Phoenix. All right? And then ultimately he was moved out of there in the twilight of his career to join Houston.
But
he wasn't at the top. Time out, Bugsy. He wasn't at the top of his game, universally recognized as one of, if not the top player in the game when that move to Houston was made. That is not true.
But you get the Warriors. That's a solid team. They add KD. They're no different than the Yankees when they add everybody.
Well, that was George Steinbrenner paying folks a boatload of money they couldn't get from anywhere else. In today's NBA, if you're a marquee player, all of y'all get the same amount of money. You'll all get max deals. They went to the Yankees because they went to the Yankees because the Yankees were willing to pay money nobody else was willing to pay. That's entirely different than being able to go anywhere knowing you're going to get your money and picking or choosing a team strictly because they give you the best chance at the ring.
Everybody's just crying over it, man. Everybody just needs to do what the Warriors are doing.
Bugsy, I just schooled you. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Bugsy wants to sit up there and get all emotional. You ain't got anything to say of content, so you come up with excuses. Doesn't work on this show. I don't play that. Let's go to Michael in Montana. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing, my guy? I just want to say, huge fan. Love hearing somebody with a strong opinion like yours. So originally I was going to talk to you about LeBron, but I got a question for you that's a little bit different.
Okay.
So this year in the football world, we've noticed some really controversial play calling and refereeing done, both in college and in the NFL. So let's say the referees have a bad game this Sunday. At what point do you think that these bigger programs like the NFL and D1 football, they start doing something like the FCS does, where they just kind of like do an all-star referee thing for their playoffs and their championship games, where they just take the best from whatever league, put them together, they work one game, and then they swap it up again.
I don't know about that. I do think that both take the best of the referees that they have available for their important postseason games. But I don't believe that they'll ever graduate to the point where you're using the best of college and pro football to officiate these postseason games, because the rules in college football are somewhat different than the rules in the National Football League, and I think that they would refrain from such things. But I got to run. I appreciate the call, Michael. Thank you so much. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Before we return, or when we return, Hall of Fame wide receiver, former Oakland Raider, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, the one and only Tim Brown. He's up next with yours truly right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Once again, welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio, live from Radio Row in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Mall of America. The city, site of Super Bowl 52 between the New England Patriots and Philadelphia Eagles. It is my honor and privilege to have my next guest here with me, not only because he's a Hall of Famer, not only because he's one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of the National Football League, not only because of those things, but he's got a lovely, lovely woman sitting right next to him. You know, he is here on behalf of Kay Jewelers, all right, the #1 jewelry store in America and your trusted Valentine's Day gifting destination.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you saw the ring on this one, if you saw the ring on this one, Miss Sharice, let me tell you, first of all, right now, I'm not going to be classless and ask how much that ring costs. But, Lord have mercy. You're a special woman. How are you doing, Sharice?
I am doing well.
You just move aside for a second.
Right. We got to put him to the side.
I'm talking to the wife.
Right. I am doing well.
Right.
I am doing wonderful. Glad to be here. Excited to be here to represent Kay Jewelers.
That's right. Kay Jewelers taking care of you?
Yes, they are.
They're
very much
taking care
so.
of you?
They gave me a little bling to wear. Their little
That right?
interwoven
Right.
collection.
Now,
so I'm
what
representing.
role did Tim Brown play? I mean, it's one thing to take you, have some men, they'll take you to the jewelry store,
Right.
and they'll say, my love, pick what you want to pick. There are other dudes that'll try to do it themselves.
Yes.
Which one was Tim Brown?
You know what? I picked it myself. I did. He
Yeah,
sent a
that's right.
jeweler over to me, and I picked
21
it.
years into this thing. It didn't work. I know what to do now. Hey, here's the card. Go do what you need to
So
do.
you said, here it is, and you picked it out yourself.
I did. But let me tell you what he did was special. So Kay Jewelers did help us redesign and add some bands to our rings. So that was something he did on his own.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Definitely.
He is a Hall of Famer
He's
for
good.
a reason.
Yes.
He's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Yes.
I'm talking to the lovely Cerise. The lovely wife of Mr. Tim Brown. Tim Brown's right next to her. We'll get to him now, I guess.
Right.
I mean, we have to get
Go
to
ahead
him,
and talk to him a little bit.
right?
Just a little bit.
Listen, man, before I even get into the Super Bowl stuff, you asked me about T.O. and whether or not he should be in the Hall of Fame. I want to know what you thought about this. T.O. was obviously a great receiver. Statistically, top 6 in a multitude of categories, one of the greatest all time. You have a lot of people who bring up some of his petulance as a player. Here's what rakes my nerves about that, Tim Brown. He performed on the field. That stuff off the field is too subjective to omit someone from the Hall of Fame. And to me, if you're going to do that to him, you got to do it to Randy Moss. And I think both of them should have been first ballot Hall of Fames. Where are you on that?
Look, I definitely think that that should have happened. Also, I thought T.O. should have been in. I think what I don't like about what's happening, and if I could get to him, he doesn't like me. He thinks I'm like his arch enemy. But whatever reason,
He can be sensitive.
And I love the kid. I thought he, had an incredible career, and everything I said publicly was really trying to help him. But I get that. You don't want people, trying to direct your life or whatever. But the argument that he's made, he's making an argument about, he's 2, 3, and 6. I was 2, 3 and 3 when I came out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was second in catches and third in yards and third in touchdowns. And it took me 6 years to get in. So that's not the argument to make. Oh, you just need to be talking about the plays, what you did on the football field, how you dominated the game. That's the argument that he should be making, because everybody knows how dominant he was.
I don't even think he needs to make that argument.
He doesn't need to say anything, but if he is going to make an argument.
I guess what I'm saying is that if we're going to get into behavior, man, we got some unsavory dudes in the Hall of Fame in every sport.
That's why you can't.
That is just not right.
Right.
It's too subjective.
Right.
Not to mention the fact that half the locker room loved them and half of them might not have. But what about the half that loved them? That should count for something.
Well, look, I mean, there's some great players in the history of the league who who would, some of their players would say the exact same thing. We were talking to him last night, and he was saying some stuff that make you go, what? How? You know what I mean?
That's right.
So it happens. So I don't think the off the field stuff should come into play at all. And I don't think that it does. I think with these doggone voters, I think they get so sensitive when a player speaks. I got an email from a couple voters when this great receiver died, a couple months ago. I forget who he played for, whatever, but he was. I mean, look at the stats. You go, wow! I never heard of this guy. And he was catching 82 balls for 1,400 yards back in the day. And their point was, well, this is a guy who never got a sniff at the Hall of Fame. And so this is why it's tough for us to hear guys complaining when this guy never have a chance to even, So, look, whether the sensitivity should come into play or not, it does. And these folks can do what they want to do under the guide of, hey, I voted for T.O. Everybody said they voted for T.O., but he's not in.
Last question on this Hall of Fame matter. You feel the way that you feel. How many Hall of Famers have expressed to you they feel the same way?
As far as,
T.O., or just the issue of behavior playing a role in determining whether you're Hall of Fame or not?
I don't think anybody believes behavior should play a role. I just don't believe that that's a part of it. Otherwise, you got to go in the Hall of Fame and go, hey, you, come on out. You, come on out. You should have never got in.
How about that?
You know what I mean? That's what you got to do if you're going to do that. So that cannot be a part of it. It wasn't a part of it then. It can't be a part of it.
And by the way, when you misbehave and you a knucklehead, not only will you not be a Hall of Famer, you'll never have a wife like Sharice. You'll never have a wife like Sharice. It's just the way it goes. Amen. There we go. There we go. Tim Brown, Sharice Brown, right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Philadelphia, New England. What's your thought process right now? Handicap this game for me.
Look, man, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a great football game. I think Philly is playing great football. We know what Tom and that team is going to do over there. But I think Philly is going to be up for the task, man. And, look, I got this little Patriot hater thing going on in me. But, even with that being said,
you're part of that tuck bowl. Tuck bowl.
It's just what it is.
Right.
I know this, and Tom Brady has a chance to win the game. He's going to win the game. So they got to find a way to not put him in that situation. But I just think this Eagles team is good enough to get it done, man.
Why do you think they're good enough? Because they can get to Tom Brady? Because their offense is high-powered enough?
They can get to him with 4.
What is it? You think they can do that?
I think they can get to him with 4. I think the front 4 can get to Tom Brady. And because when he kills you is when you got to bring 5 or 6 people because he knows where the holes are going to be and he picks you apart. So and I think people are talking about Nick Foles. Nick Foles is not a backup quarterback. This is a guy who has been a starter and played at a very high level. I would love to have him as a quarterback. So,
did you feel that way when he was playing with Jeff Fisher? I can't imagine that.
No, but I mean, different coaches and different players don't mess together. So I mean, I get that, I understand that, but the fact of the matter is, this guy has had some great years in the league, and last week, a couple weeks ago, he played incredible good football. So, I mean, if he can come back, look, if I'm him, I'm going. If it's 3rd and 12. And it's not wide open, I'm checking it down and go, defense. Here we go, baby. Let's go. You know what I mean? If he can be that kind of smart, I think they have a legitimate shot.
Before I let you go, let's get back to that tuck rule for a quick second here.
Why are you trying to do me like that?
No, I'm just asking. A brother just wants to know. I mean, listen. One would surmise that when you have a lovely wife with that ring on her finger like that, it makes life easier to make the tough roads in life a little bit easier to endure. So I asked the question, how tough has it been for you because of that daggone tuck rule?
Look, I think that, and I was just saying earlier, if that would have been the game that put us in the Super Bowl, I think it would have been different. But we did have to go on the road again to play Pittsburgh, and you just never know. You can't say, we would have definitely beat Pittsburgh. You don't know. But so I think I'm able to get over it from the standpoint of, hey, we did have another game. It wasn't like that was a game that was going to put us in the Super Bowl. So, it's all good. But look, I didn't win one on the field, but I definitely won one off the field, bro.
How about that?
And thanks to K Jewelers, I'm able to take care of this lovely
K
woman.
Jewelers, okay? Valentine's Day.
Right.
Win your partner over by visiting your local K Jewelers store on K.com to find the perfect gift as the official jewelry store of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. K Jewelers has been trusted to create the iconic ring of excellence that is presented to all inductees. So just imagine what they can do for you.
Absolutely.
I am sitting in front of Tim Brown with the lovely Sharice Brown, and let me tell y'all something right
Jerry
now.
Rice? This is Jerry Rice's ring.
I got the listen, man. This Jerry Rice ring right here is real nice. It really nice. It's impressive, but it ain't that. It ain't that. Okay? Right. You understand? That's the kind of ring there that the brothers will look at you and go like this. Man, why you had to bring her around? Why you had to bring her around? We don't feel like spending that kind of money. That's right. I think, brother, with that.
It's all good. Hey, go to Cave, man. They'll hook you up. They can get you.
I know.
Take care of the brother.
I know,
Right.
but let's not give anybody no ideas. Over the airway, just shit. Sharice, thank you so much for being
so
here.
good seeing you, Steve.
My man,
always,
my
brother.
Good to see you, my man.
Okay.
Sharice and Tim Brown, two Hall of Famers.
Yes.
Right here.
The Hall of Famer wife.
With Stephen A. Represent K Jewelers. Get to your K Jewelers quickly. Back with more in a minute.
Thank you, Stephen.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. 34 minutes past hour number 2. Any minute now we'll be having star quarterback for the USC Trojans, Sam Darnold, expected to be a top 5 pick potentially in the upcoming NFL draft. Number to call up as always is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. But until he gets here, we'll go back to the phones. Let's go to John in Tennessee. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, John?
What's up, Stephen A? Yo, so I got a question.
Go ahead,
man. You said that LeBron, if he goes to the Warriors, that'd ruin his legacy. I'm just wondering, when he started in Cleveland, went to Miami, that didn't ruin his legacy. Y'all said that, but he became best player. Then he went back.
No, I didn't. No, I did not say that. I don't. No. Don't sit up there and say y'all.
Well,
hold it. Wait. What's the name of this show? What show did you just call up? You don't talk to me about what other people said. I'm telling you what the hell I said. Yeah, Cleveland was an absolute mess. You had players doing all kinds of stuff behind his back. That was why he really, really left. I did not say that about his legacy when he departed for South Beach. I never said that. Now go ahead real quick.
How's it going to ruin his legacy by going to the Warriors, by making them better?
I'm saying because it'll ultimately attach to him as being the weakest move in the world. In the world. Talk about stacking the deck. Why even have an NBA season if he's allowed to join Kevin Durant and Steph Curry? Why even bother? And by the way, I got more information to give you, but I'll hold off on that right now because I got to get to my next guest, John. He is or was the star quarterback for USC. He's entering the NFL draft. His name is Sam Darnold. He's right before me right now. Pleasure to meet you, my man. How's everything going?
Everything's great. You know, it's been awesome to be here in Minneapolis. On behalf of Red Robin, it's been awesome, and they've been doing a great job showing me around. And the burger bar they got going on, the gourmet burger bar, is awesome. You can pick it up wherever.
You'll eat those burgers, right?
Any Red Robin you want.
That's right.
So I'm looking forward to it while I enjoy the game at home. So
I got you.
But yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Talk to me. You've decided to enter the NFL draft.
Yes, sir.
Why?
I just thought, best opportunity for me and my family, the future family that I might have, and just a great opportunity for me to continue my career. And I just thought, the earlier the better. When I can get in and learn as much as possible before, my playing days are over.
How would you rate the season that you just had? How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was all right. Obviously could have been better. It was just, some of the games you look back and, I wish that I could have done some things differently. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think I handled all the pressure and all that kind of stuff really well. Mm-hmm. I think looking back on it, I wish I would have prepared a little bit harder for some of the games that we did play. Because, teams like Ohio State, they got us on a couple blitzes that they shouldn't have. But, yeah, I thought overall I played pretty well. The turnovers were an issue, obviously, but I've been working on keeping two hands in the pocket at all times now.
I'm not going to use the word lack of preparation because you certainly weren't implying that. Obviously, you work very, very hard and you're trying to be the best that you can be. But when you say you wish you would have prepared better,
right?
Specifically break that down, because as a quarterback, what is it that you believe that's required that you may have missed out on a game or two here or there or whatever that you've learned from? What exactly are you alluding to?
Yeah, I think just talking about, when we lose games, but we went to Washington State on a Friday night in Pullman and we lost by a field goal. Mm-hmm. And you look back on some of the plays and it's just like, well, if I spent another hour or two looking at film, I might have caught that blitz that they caught us on there. When I fumbled and they got the ball back and kicked the easy field goal for the win. So it's just plays like that I'm talking about. Obviously, I prepare hard though.
How hard was it being in LA under the spotlight, under the pressure that you were under playing for USC, but also having Josh Rosen right across town and people like bringing up your name and Josh Rosen, USC, UCLA. What was that like for you?
It was interesting. It was honestly fun, and I embraced it. Me and Josh, we text every now and then, and we're good buddies. So anything that comes up in the newspapers or in the media, we kind of joke. We kind of joke about it and laugh about it. So it's awesome to be able to have a great relationship with him. But also just being in LA, it's special. It's a special place to be in, especially when you're doing well as a sports team. So it's been amazing, and it was amazing. But, yeah.
I thought two things hurt you watching USC last year. I thought the expectations that other people had placed on your shoulders because you did so well your first year. The other thing was the loss to Notre Dame. That was 49-14. I don't care who you are. When you're a star, you don't want to have that on your resume. How much do you think that prompted or elevated the level of questions that came your way because of how you guys lost to Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, going back to your first point, I think with the expectations, there's some things you can control and some things you can't. And,
right.
That's one thing that I can't control, and I'm aware of that, and that's all of us quarterbacks and all of us competitors, professional athletes, talk about it. The media is going to do what they do, but at the same time, we just got to focus in on what we need to do, how we need to win the games. But yeah, and then going to the Notre Dame game, that was one game that I wish I had back. Our whole team, we feel like we could have prepared a lot more, obviously, for that game. But it is what it is.
Right.
And, it sucks to lose like that, especially to a rival and go into South Bend. And even the year before that, we kind of handled them the way we wanted to. And then to just, a year later to have them do that to us, it sucks. But at the same time, it is what it is.
Talking to Sam Darnold, star quarterback of USC, now entering the NFL draft. He's right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Just a couple of questions before I let you go. Got Baker Mayfield out there, Josh Rosen out there, kid from Wyoming as well, yourself. You feel you should be the number one quarterback taken in the draft?
Absolutely.
Why?
I think there's a lot of reasons why. I mean, I'm not going to put myself in a position to be ridiculed that much, and I think I got a pretty good head on my shoulders. Not that the other quarterbacks don't. I just think I'm a great talent, and whatever organization puts their trust in me to be able to invest in me to be their quarterback, I think that's something special and something that I'm not going to take for granted.
Are you one of those guys that's like, look, I just want to be in the NFL? Or are you going to look at it and say, look, man, Cleveland went 0-16. I'm not sure I want to be in that situation. Or I was in L.A. in the sunshine and the palm trees and all of that stuff, and now I'm going to be off Lake Erie or someplace like that, freezing in November and December. What's the mentality in terms of your preference? Where does that lie?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely think about it. I definitely think about it. Growing up, you always have a dream of going to the NFL, and that's something that I'll never let go of until the draft. I've always dreamed about going to the NFL, and whatever team wants to, like I said before, invest in me, make that investment to be able to be their quarterback. That's something special, and again, that's something that I'm not going to take for granted. But at the same time, you do look at certain situations. What's the best situation? What's not? But at the same time, with all the teams that are looking to take a quarterback at the top of the draft, I think every situation is a good situation.
Does weather play a role?
No.
Does weather play a role? It doesn't play a role at all. Because it would with me. I ain't gonna lie to you. It would with me. So it doesn't play a role with you at all.
No, it doesn't. Okay. I think at the end of the day, wherever you go, even if it's here, in LA or here in Minneapolis, you're going to have to play in situations that you don't necessarily want to play in. So,
last question. Ideally, in terms of from a system perspective, is there something that you find ideal for you on the professional, on the NFL level?
I think I can fit any system. Again, with the investment that a team is going to make in me. Not saying that I would be fit for a pro system or a spread system better, but they're going to find a way to make me comfortable, and I think that's something that is going to be special. And I think the Rams did a great job with Jared Goff in that, making him feel comfortable with his second year. So I think, with whatever team takes me, I think they'll do the same thing.
Hey, man, all the best to you, man. Good luck in the future, all right? We're talking to Sam Darnold for USC. He's here in association with Red Robin. Red Robin's Gourmet Burger Bar is the winning game plan for fans looking to spend less time preparing food and more time enjoying the big game celebration with friends and family. Sam Darnold out of USC may be the first quarterback to be taken in the upcoming NFL draft. We shall see. All the best to you, buddy. All the best.
Appreciate
More
it.
with Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio in a minute.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Let's see. Let's go to Jeff in Brooklyn. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, Jeff.
Hey, Stephen A. How's it going?
Y'all got to be ready to talk, man. Let's go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm ready. I just wanted to comment on the Super Bowl and the Knicks. I think that the Eagles are going to win because I think they have the best chance. I feel like as if their defense will be prepared.
What's your next point? Hurry up.
Honestly, I wanted to know what's your thoughts. I think LeBron is stupid for even considering going to Golden State. I think if he's smart, him and Melo should consider going to Houston for next year to smash the Warriors.
You know what? I would like Houston better. I think that the Warriors would be a very huge mistake. It would be a very weak move, and I think it would tarnish his legacy. That's my personal opinion. Michael in Oklahoma, real quick, you're live with Stephen A. Go.
Hey, congratulations on the show. My opinion, and just this, if LeBron does go to Golden State, you might as well get ready to treat it like every other league across the nation and hand out participation trophies. Have a good day, sir.
I agree with you. That's a good point, Leroy. I mean, thanks a lot, man. Let's go to Leroy in Minneapolis. You're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Leroy, go ahead.
Hey, Stephen A., thanks for taking the call. I don't think Canelo's going to be Triple G. That's my opinion. But my question is, do you think anybody out there could take Lomachenko? Because, he's a beast.
No, I don't think anybody at his weight class. I think that Mikey Garcia at 135 could possibly take him. I think if Crawford had stayed at 140 and Lomachenko moved up to that, he could take him. But I don't see anybody in his weight class, that's going to go against him. Who's that kid, Javonte Davis, that works under the Mayweather brand? I like him a lot, but he is not disciplined enough as of yet to beat a Lomachenko. That's my problem with Javonte Davis. I like him a lot. He's undefeated. He's also a knockout artist, got some speed and power, but I think Lomachenko is a different animal, and I think that he'll lose once he moves us up in weight. I don't see him doing anything before that. I appreciate the call, Lo. Thank you so much. Let's go to Jerry in Portland. You're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Jerry.
Yo, Lomachenko tapped into the Matrix. No one's beating him. So I've been trying to get your opinion on this Baseball Hall of Fame for over a week, Stephen A. We talked about not letting in Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens for using steroids. They played in the steroids era. Who knows when they were using steroids. But how come we don't talk about why Babe Ruth, all these people that played before, the color barrier getting broken, they didn't have to play against all qualified players?
I think we don't think about it because it was in the 1930s and stuff like that. I was born in 1967, bro. I'm not saying that you don't have a point or anything like that, but am I really, really thinking about that? Are you really thinking about prejudice? Or are you really thinking about the fact that the sport wasn't integrated? Are you really thinking about that once the steroid era and all of that stuff kicks in? I mean, you now have a bad point. Don't get me wrong. It's just not in the mind's eye. That's the best way to answer that question. Different times. It's a different day, and the steroid era is what we're discussing. It's just that simple. Rich in New York, you got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
What's up, Stephen A.? I just wanted to comment about the whole LeBron. You got 30 seconds, boy. You got 30 seconds. Just go. What's up? You said you was talking about how, if LeBron goes there, he's not really trying to compete. But the Warriors, that's coming from their side. And on top of that, I heard they're trying to get Anthony Davis. So who is it really that's not trying to compete?
Both of them. I'm not absolving them. Both of them. Absolutely, positively, both of them. I think if LeBron went to the Warriors or Anthony Davis went to the Warriors, I think the Warriors should be ashamed of themselves too. There's no competition. There's no parity. It's ridiculous. They're stacking the deck. Why even have an NBA season? Nobody wants to compete. That's the argument that I'm making. LeBron's just at the forefront right now because of the news. It's just that simple.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.